What's up? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Thank you. So here I have a rumoured casting of Professor X and Cyclops in the MCU. This has gotten out, and this has been part of a leak that seems very specific. Like, for example, another leak was Penn Badgley from You as Mr. Fantastic. That's a very specific casting. Even Joe Keery there from Stranger Things has allegedly been cast as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. So these are very specific casting decisions that are coming out there. Now, they could be absolutely full of it, and this is why I'm saying to you to take this with a grain of salt. This is only rumoured casting at this moment in time. Giancarlo Esposito is already working on The Mandalorian, and it would be an easy negotiation for him to move across to Marvel. Do I think that he's the right fit for Charles Xavier? I think from an actor's point of view, he does the cerebral character very well. He is very commanding, and I think in another world maybe where stuff wasn't being pushed so hard, maybe people could accept this as being Professor Xavier. However, because we already know going into this project that they're going to change beloved X-Men and members of the Brotherhood, it does have a bad taste with it, in my opinion, especially when you have someone out there like Mark Strong. When he looks exactly like Professor Xavier, he commands the screen, he has gravitas, he has experience as Merlin in the Kingsman, being a character that sits behind a desk and communicates with the characters like Eggsy and the other Kingsmen in those movies, and does it very well. I thought to myself that'd be a very good Professor Xavier. Not only that, then he also has experience in comic book movies. He clearly likes them, when he was Sinestro in the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, and also Dr. Savannah then in the recent Shazam movie. This is a guy that's obviously interested in comic books. Yeah, he's been overlooked now for Giancarlo Esposito. It doesn't make sense to me, particularly when Mark Strong looks like the character. There's also a heavy suggestion that Magneto is going to be altered also. Now, that's no surprise to me, given Magneto's history. They could easily explain away the fact that he still looks young because he's the master of magnetism. It's done in TV series and movies all of the time, yet they want to move away from that. In my opinion, it's got more to do with Magneto's creed than anything else. You've also then got allegedly Glen Powell being cast as Cyclops, and that's a casting decision that I like. Top Gun Maverick was a fantastic movie, and one of the standouts in that movie for me was Glen Powell as Hangman. This guy, as soon as he came onto the screen, has a commanding presence. He does look like the leadership type, and he does have that ability, I think, to draw in then a female audience for sure. This is a guy I think that would be absolutely nailed on the Cyclops, and I think he would be perfect. Considering you have James Marsden, who played Cyclops in the Bryan Singer movies, I never liked the portrayal of Cyclops in those movies, and I thought that James Marsden was also too small and Wolverine was too tall. You then also factor in that James Marsden checked out those movies in The Last Stand to go over and work with Bryan Singer, who was a suspect individual to say the very least. Went over there to work for him and play a character that was married to Lois Lane, but yet Superman was in with Lois Lane and this guy was out on the side. You know what I mean? Similar type of character as well too. He played in those 3 X-Men movies, so I think he has a bit of a problem maybe himself with the characters he likes to play, but I don't think that comes down to Glen Powell. Glen Powell seems to be someone that's interested in playing these characters that are leadership qualities, they have good quipping abilities, and someone that I think is a strong character, especially coming off the success of Top Gun Maverick. I think that this would be good for the MCU to have someone that could be another leading man very easily, and it'd take the weight off someone that has to be Professor X, for example, because Cyclops is the field team leader. So I think that that's going to be the way they're going to go for the movies. It would be the smart way to go. Again, I've made my fan cast of the X-Men in the past, and I do think that if the MCU had someone behind it that was going to think of it that way, would be to have the X-Men basically be the Navy SEALs of the MCU. A team that's out there that not an awful lot of people know about because it's a covert team, and Charles Xavier has something to do with that. Maybe that's going to be something they will do in the MCU, how they'll introduce them. I know recently in the Miss Marvel TV show, I've seen the clip where the 97 X-Men team plays, and it's alleged at this moment in time that Miss Marvel is a mutant. So they're going to either just introduce mutants hand over fist now, really ham-fistedly, or they're going to do it in some sort of clever way, or maybe they might say, well, it's something to do with the blip and people coming back. Who knows at this point? I think it's going to be interesting to see. The MCU badly needs to get the X-Men on board now, because even when I did a Phase 4 video, there wasn't an awful lot that was interesting to me in Phase 4, and an awful lot of it that's been released so far is terrible. So they need a winner now at this stage. I think the winner is going to come along with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I would suggest that it could be a bit of a dodgy circumstance that the MCU could find itself in if it starts messing around with the casting of the X-Men. Like I said, I like Glen Powell as Cyclops. I don't like Giancarlo Esposito as Professor Xavier. I think he's a very capable actor, but I think when you've got Mark Strong there, that's an easy choice to make. And I think there's an awful lot of other people that are out there that could do it. I do think that maybe the play is this: they had Professor Xavier in the Multiverse of Madness played by Patrick Stewart, and he made him look like an absolute buffoon. So if they've got someone that looks completely different, maybe that's the way they're thinking now, and maybe that's why Penn Badgley is allegedly being put in now as Mr. Fantastic. It's someone that looks completely different, and they are to be taken more seriously than the other versions of these characters we've seen. Maybe that's the way they're going with it, and it was something I thought actually at the time. I didn't think we'd get someone that looked like Patrick Stewart in the future, but if they go with Giancarlo Esposito, it's going to be a very different look. So yeah, kind of 50-50 on this one. I'm happy with Glen Powell if he's going to be Cyclops. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think Giancarlo Esposito is a fantastic actor. I just don't think he's right for Professor X. I could see him as the voice of Mr. Sinister, or for example even Apocalypse maybe even. But Professor X, I just don't see it really, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's the rumour at the moment. I think these guys are allegedly supposed to come out at SDCC this week, and they are supposed to make this statement that these guys are Professor X and Cyclops. This could be totally off, and these guys could be nowhere near this, but we'll wait and see, and I'm sure after this weekend we'll find out what's going on. Anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Talk to you later. Good luck.